Hey everyone, and welcome back. First off, I'd like to apologize for two things. The lighting, because lighting in this bathroom really sucks. I have all the lights on possible, and we're in the hallway, trying to make this a little bit better. And for the fan, because if I don't do the fan, wrong light. This is the lighting. Absolutely horrible. So, have to deal with the fan noise. Luckily, fingers crossed, the sink will hold water, so I don't have to deal with the running water noise. But the town. So before we start on the town, we're gonna talk about the gears a little bit here. The soap I'm using, as you can tell from the description, is Lavenwood from 4. Maybe an artisan you haven't heard of before, but that is, so he actually has labels now. This was a tester batch of his, so there's no markings on the tin. But the artisan is Roland Robert, or Robert. I believe he pronounces it Robert. He is down in Louisiana, I want to say. Sorry if I get that wrong, Roland. But he is a police officer down there. So if he does come out with another batch, not only are you supporting a small artisan who does this for fun on the side, you're also helping a police officer. So, 2 wins in my book. But the brush I'm using is this wonderful Omega 10098, I believe. This was generously gifted to me by Rick, and I'm probably gonna say his last name incorrect again, Neiman. Beautiful little boar knot. I really like this thing. I'm liking this thing a lot. I whipped up my lather in a Vanillé resin bowl, one you've seen before. Beautiful lather in there. Plenty of soap left over. I'm probably gonna do a head shave off camera. And I'm going to attempt to use the Eco. I say attempt because I have an Astra SP blade in there. Generally speaking, in most DE razors I've tried, or that are in my collection, the Astra SP blades and I generally do not get along. I know a lot of people love the Astra SPs. It works really well for them. I can't talk today. Works really well for them. I am not one of those people, regretfully. So, but the reason I'm trying it in the Eco is I recently tried a feather blade in there, and feathers and I also generally don't get along. But the feather actually was able to get 2 or 3 shaves out of that feather blade. So, and it didn't have any irritation or anything like that, which normally I get with feathers. So I figured I'd try to revisit some blades that I still have kicking around and see if I can get them to work in that razor. Because if I can, take 1 blade, I get 2 blades. So, we're gonna try the Eco. Now, as you can tell from the description, today we're talking about Idaho Falls, Idaho. Now, full disclosure, I am currently not in Idaho Falls. I'm in another town north about next week, and that is Akron, Ohio. But the reason I want to talk about Idaho Falls, I didn't film this while I was in Idaho Falls, was 1, I was there for 1 night with my entire family, and I was under the weather. So I didn't have my camera mount, so I guess there's 3 reasons. But my family and I went up to Idaho Falls over Thanksgiving weekend. The reason we go up there, and we go up there every year, we've been doing this for a couple years now, is that my dad has a really good friend from college who plays Santa in the local mall there. And I gotta tell you, he does a phenomenal job. I'm not just saying that because I've known the guy forever, pretty much my entire life. But he does a great job. It's not just a, hey, thanks for coming to see Santa. What do you want for Christmas? Picture, done, next. He'll sit there and he'll read stories with the kids and he tells them stories and he reads stories. I mean, I've seen Santas in malls all over the country, and unbiased opinion, he does a phenomenal job. He's one of the best. but I also know the guy, so there's a little bit of bias. But he is phenomenal, really good guy as well. And he has a full beard. It's his. And he looks like Santa. It's awesome. So this year we drove up there on Friday. Went to the mall Friday. Drove home Saturday. And I flew out Monday. So, but the town of Idaho Falls, it is the second largest city in Idaho, right behind Boise. There wasn't a whole lot of development there until 1864, when Harry Ricketts, heck of a name, right? I want to have my last name of Ricketts, especially in that time of history. Anyway, when he built a ferry across the Snake River, the ferry kind of helped the expansion westward from Montana. And by 1865, the town had a bank, a hotel, a stable, a post office, a stage station, and a couple other businesses as well. And what really got the town going was the expansion of the railroad. I'm an idiot, I didn't write it down, but there's a railroad, there's a Utah / other, the different name railroad that built the railroad up there, and actually had the line going across the original bridge that was built by Mr. Ricketts. Now, if you want to get to Idaho Falls, and if you do go there, if you're in the area around Christmas, I cannot stress enough how highly I recommend going to see Santa at the mall there in that town. It is an experience that you won't forget, because he is seriously an amazing Santa. But if you want to get there, and you don't want to fly to Salt Lake and drive a couple hours, there is a regional airport in Twin Falls. You probably fly through either Salt Lake or Denver. I didn't look at the flight patterns for all the airlines. Hope you'll forgive me for that one. But you can go into the regional airport in Idaho Falls there. Now the town was originally known as Taylor's Crossing. It did go through a couple of name changes before they settled on Idaho Falls. Not sure how I feel about this blade yet. Soap is plenty slick, has really good residual slickness. Soap is really good, especially for his first run. I'm telling you guys, if you can pick this up, I recommend it. But I think I'm feeling a little bit of irritation. That's from the blade. I don't think it's not from the soap. I've used the soap plenty of times. But I think the blade is irritating my skin. Let's see, in 1949 for Idaho, right outside of Idaho Falls. I'm gonna make sure I get this correct here. It's a long name. The Atomic Energy Commission built the National Research Testing Station. Oh, got myself a little bit right there. And there, they have built and tested over 50 nuclear reactors. Currently, only 3 are still being used. I don't know if it is in that facility or across the nation. not digging this blade. At all. Luckily, I don't have many extras left. This is gonna be one and done with this blade. Let's see. Also in Twin, or not Twin Falls, in Idaho Falls. There's a Twin Falls, Idaho too. So there's Idaho Falls, Idaho, and Twin Falls, Idaho, because that's not confusing enough. But in Idaho Falls, there is an extensive riverwalk area. And that kind of reminds me of San Antonio in some aspects. Really nice little area to walk around. The hotel that we stayed at, you can actually see on one side the river, and you can access the trails, and you can do, in the summers you can go biking and walking along that trail. Really beautiful area. In the winter, it is cold. The wind blows almost constantly. So if you're there in the winter, prepare for tons of wind. Man, this brush is awesome. It's not quite fully broken in yet either. Just a really good brush. It's a little bit more water. And this soap is so good. I really hope that Roland makes another batch for those that missed out on the first go. Just need a little bit more in here. And this stuff can take water. Now my tin, the soap has gotten really, really hard. But I noticed today that my tin also has some holes in it. I don't think that's any fault of Robert's. It could be, or not Robert's, of Roland's. I think it's probably due to maybe where it was stored or something, you know, I don't know, doesn't matter. But my puck is really, really hard. I tried soaking it while I was in the shower. I was getting stuff ready. Looked down, there's a ton of water coming out from underneath, underneath the container of soap. So then I started looking around and I noticed now that I've used a bunch of the soap that I could see some light through the container. So luckily it softened it up. I used my choice little spoon, scooped it into some soap into my vanillin bowl, and built my lather that way. And had it soaking while I was in the shower. Soaking / blooming, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if I've talked about the scent on the soap. It's lavender and cedar. Very, very cedar forward. Off the puck. When you get it lathered, you can really get those sweet lavender notes. It is a very strong cedar scent right off the puck. So if you don't like cedar, maybe the first batch isn't for you. I'm not sure if he's planning on doing the same scent again. I really enjoy the scent. Performance is outstanding. I'd put it up there with soaps like Sterling. You know, some of those really good performers that are still readily available. Definitely a very good soap. I don't recall how much is in the container. Oh, got myself good there. I do not like these blades. But, I mean, if you look at the size of this container this is what, 4 ounces? 4.6, 4.8 ounces of WSP. Now, granted, this isn't full to the top. It wasn't when I got it. So I think there's like 3 or 4 ounces in here. But there's the soap, it's all white, and oh, man, it smells so good. It's a little bit of a weaker scent, so like I can't get a whole lot of it right now off while it's lathered, but I can still get little hints of the scent, which is perfect. And it's not one that lingers on your skin, kind of like, it's not like Katie's Bubbles or some PAA fragrances where you use it, you shave, you can still smell the soap a little bit later. It's not gonna be like that. So you can really pair this with any cologne or aftershave that you want. Residual thickness on this is really good as well. Post shave is fantastic. Display is awful for me. If you like Asper SP blades, more power to you. They did not work for my skin very well. I can already feel the irritation from the blade. Again, blade, not soap. I don't want to put any false information out there. It's a sharp blade. It's just something with the grind of the blade itself or the metal. Something just does not agree with my skin. Anyway, getting back to Idaho Falls. So the notable people is NPR journalist Rachel Martin. Let's see, Wilson Rawls, I think I said his name incorrectly. He is the author of Where the Red Fern Grows, which if you've read that book or saw the movie, he's from Idaho Falls. And John L. Smith is a football coach. He's taught at multiple universities. There's some other ones in there as well. They weren't too notable to me anyway, so I didn't include them in my list. If you want to find out more, go to Wikipedia. Look at all this gunk. Water here is okay. Yeah, I'm having issues with this blade. But, okay, let's finish this up here. So like I said, if you're in the area, I'd say Idaho Falls is definitely worth visiting. I mean, we go up there every year. Also, my best friend from high school lives there. He moved up there recently. His wife is from that general area. There is a university in Idaho Falls. It's also within close proximity to Rexburg, which is the home of Brigham Young University, Idaho, or BYU, Idaho. So if you want to go to that school, that's there. Within close proximity, you can, I don't know how far it is exactly to Rexburg. You know, Rexburg, there's not a lot in Rexburg outside of the school. But Idaho Falls would be the biggest town for the college students to go do anything in. But anyway, that's gonna be the shave. I'm just gonna finish everything off camera. This has been a little longer than I have been doing recently. Quick recap. The soap that I used is Lavenwood from 4, or Roland Robert down in, I want to say Louisiana. Great guy, great soap. The brush that I used is the Omega 10098. This was gifted to me by Rick Newman. Another great guy as well. I linked to his channel in my last video. Highly recommend checking him out. Dude's awesome with the straight. Razor is the RazoRock Eco or Echo, depending on your personal pronunciation, with an Astra SP blade first and last use. Those blades did not get along with my skin, good to know, and whipped up everything in my Vanulay resin travel bowl. This thing is awesome, and the ridges, I am hoping, will help break this in a little bit faster. Anyway guys, thank you for tuning in for this week's episode where I spoke about a wonderful town that I visited this past weekend. Stay tuned for next week when I talk about the beautiful city of Akron, Ohio. Catch y'all later.